We have had a whole lot of mountain snow through the Cascades of Central Oregon. Hey everyone, I'm Darrell Winninger, meteorologist at Central Oregon Daily News, and across the high desert today, we've had these off and on snow showers, and before snow started to work its way through Central Oregon, temperatures topped out in the 30s and 40s, so either side of 40 degrees. Since then, this cold front has brought that dip in temperatures. Winds have been gusty at times, and we've been getting some snow even in our lower elevations, a few light totals out there. So we're about to do a deep dive into your most reliable forecast. Look at what has been happening across the high desert and what's going to happen through the next couple of days. This shift in our weather pattern that's on the way brings us from winter almost to spring, if you will. It's going to feel a little more like March than early January in the next couple of days, especially as we go into next week. But let's go ahead and start off with what we're seeing right here and right now. A whole lot of cloud cover. That snow in the Cascades continues to fall. Look at that powder. Makes you want to take out those skis or snowboards and get up there. So let's focus a little bit more on Bachelor and Hoodoo specifically. Looking at a couple other cameras, each one of these are showing gorgeous conditions up there. Hoodoo is set to open tomorrow, and they have gotten the snow to make that happen. Bachelor getting just as much. So quick shift to snowfall analysis, and what you're looking at here uses radar reflectivity, and it comes up with an approximation of how much snow has fallen. Now we're about to take another look at some actual numbers, but we can see that most of the snow has been in the mountains. We still have some left to go tonight. As much as a foot is still going to be possible in the highest elevations of the Cascades, keeping us close to that 1 to 2 feet with areas of 3+ possible. Now our snow report as of 4 p.m. shows 9 new inches at Bachelor, a foot in the last 24 hours at Hoodoo, 19 inches at Timberline, and 16 inches at Meadows. That puts Hoodoo at more than 2 feet. It puts Bachelor at about 2.5 feet. 36 inches is that 3 foot marker. Not quite there, but we're still not done with the accumulating snow. So this is definitely some good news at all levels through the Cascades. Now, as we go forward through the rest of tonight, we're still looking at the potential for another 4 to 8 inches through the Cascades. At Hoodoo at sunnier Pass, it's more like 8 to 12 inches. Now, full disclosure, this time yesterday, when we were looking at 8 to 12 inches overnight, it ended up being right at 9 inches, so the lower side of that, and that's exactly what we could be seeing once again. So ultimately, as we go forward through the rest of this evening, more often on snow showers are expected. Looking at Central Oregon's future road conditions, it looks like by 7 p.m. we're going to have snow on the road at Lapine, Three Rivers, Sun River, Lava Butte, Deschutes River Woods, and South Bend, coming into South Bend. Throughout Bend, Redmond, going all the way over to Cloverdale. It looks like Tumalo is included in that, and going up through Madras and Warm Springs. It looks like some snow will have fallen, but we're not looking at too much actually sticking to the ground. Once you hit Sisters and higher in elevation, a little bit of snow in that direction. But then by 11 o'clock, most of us will have been getting a little bit of snow sticking to the roads. Now keep in mind, this does not show how much. This is just showing that snow on the roads is expected by 11 p.m., continuing until 7 a.m. Notice throughout Warm Springs, right around the Crooked River, that's where we're actually seeing the potential for the Deschutes River. Why did I say that? But that's where we're actually seeing the potential for a little bit of patchy ice on the roads and some ice, and that could be coming down to the Crooked River, but it's really going to be in those lower elevations. And then by Thursday at noon, that starts to melt pretty quickly. Still have a little bit of snow on the road at Sun River, Three Rivers, and Lapine though, but between now and Friday at 11 p.m., and really this goes through noon tomorrow. It just, the time is set until 11 p.m. Friday. We're just not looking at anything past noon tomorrow. We're looking at an additional 8 to 12 inches through the Cascades, including Bachelor, and it does look like it could be getting into that range where a little bit more is expected for Santiam Pass, and we're looking at Bachelor. The lower elevations, we're talking a trace to 2 inches. Not much at all expected here on out, so that means these off and on snow showers are expected to continue. Some slick roads are definitely possible, because even with 1/4 of an inch of snow, you could have some slick roads. But when we look at our road conditions at the moment, we have slick roads and Sisters. You can see that get slush on the road. Lapine could be slick. Lava Butte definitely is slick. And remember, Lava Butte is a little higher in elevation than Lapine. And in Bend at Powers Road, we saw some snow on the side of the road. It looks like at Cooley in 97. We don't see it, but that doesn't mean we're not going to get it, because here through the rest of tonight, more often on snow showers are expected. Quick glimpse at the passes, and oh yeah, they've been getting some snow everywhere from Century driving the way up to Bachelor, including Willamette Pass, St. Ian Pass, all the way to Government Camp has that snow on the road, and it's something we're continuing to track. Now, going forward, we have more snow showers on the way, and right now we can see some of those snow showers with satellite and radar, but also keep in mind that we are in a radar desert. Here's what I mean by a radar desert. There's a radar in West Portland, there's a radar in Medford, there's a radar in Pendleton, and there's one in Boise. We fall in that part of Central Oregon that we're right in the middle of all of those, including the fact that there's a whole mountain range between us and two of those radars. And so, unless it's higher elevation precipitation, we don't always see it showing up on radar. So that means during snow season, aka winter, aka right now, some of the snow just doesn't show up on radar. And that even went for some of the shower activity, some of the drizzle, some of the showers that we had last night weren't actually showing up on radar either. Now, when we look at the bigger picture, what we're seeing is that this cold front is indeed rolling in, and this is the one that's been bringing us off and on snow showers already today. Number one, don't see those. Number two, that's because of the radar desert that we're in. But number three, we know that we've been getting the snow because we've been seeing it outside of our windows. We've been seeing it through the road cameras courtesy of ODOT. So it's one of the reasons I use those a lot this time of the year. Now, satellite and radar also shows that on the backside of this cold front over the Pacific Ocean, we have quite a bit of clearing. That clearing starts up tonight, but between now and then we still have some snow showers. Some of this snow lingers over Central Oregon by tomorrow morning, and then we really get that clearing. So the enhanced infrared satellite imagery shows, well, not much in the way of tall clouds. You'd be seeing those reds over Central Oregon and those oranges. We've had some breaks in the cloud cover, and these off and on snow showers still going to be happening. In fact, the water vapor imagery shows this plume of moisture coming in with this system, with this cold front, and that's what's going to be impacting us. So through the rest of tonight, some snow showers are expected, including during the early morning hours, and then through Thursday, we start off with some lingering snow, get to that clearing, and it's just going to be chilly and breezy through Central Oregon. Then by Friday at 4 a.m., mostly clear and staying like that through most of Friday. By the p.m. hours, a few more clouds are going to be possible. Now, we already showed this one, so we're going to go ahead and skip over that one, but currently the relative humidity is pretty high, and that's because we've been getting this precipitation. Now, some pockets of fog where we aren't getting precipitation are going to be possible through the overnight hours. It's something I'll also be tracking with that as well. And in those pockets of fog, freezing drizzle and flurries are expected. Now, high temperatures currently, for today, I should say, in the last 24 hours, we're in the 40s with a few 30s, but current temperatures are mostly in the 30s. Many of us either near or below freezing. The only outliers from that are Paulina at 37 and Warm Springs at 38. Now, Madras is at 34 degrees, so well above freezing. Redmond, 1 degree above freezing. If we continue to get these snow showers, we're going to see temperatures, air temperatures fall down to freezing, and then we're going to see those surface temperatures fall down to near and below freezing, and that's when we start to see things sticking, like in Sisters, Sun River, Lapine, where we have it actually sticking to the ground. Those temperatures are below freezing. And currently we're running between, looks like 5 and 11 degrees cooler than it was 24 hours ago. Tonight we fall into the 20s. Tomorrow it does not warm up very much. For Thursday in Central Oregon, we're looking at highs in the 30s with some 40s possible. Now, there is still some precipitation on the way, and we are about to look at a few more snow total graphics here coming up. But just know, after these snow showers wrap up early Thursday, we get more sunshine Friday. A warming trend sets up, brings those temperatures to either side of 50 degrees for the weekend, then into the 50s early next week, and the warming doesn't slow down. It's going to be a gradual warming trend, but it's not going to slow down, except for when a weak system rolls through Sunday and Sunday night. So, here is a look at our forecast model. Let's go the other way. There we go. Here's our forecast model. This is what I typically use on air every night, and it actually shows that snow through the Cascades this evening at 7 p.m. Then off and on snow showers are expected in our lower elevations, just not putting too much on the ground in the way of totals, and by Thursday at 4 p.m. we begin to really clear out. So some of these snow showers linger into tomorrow morning, from the early morning hours to about midday, and that's when once we start to get that clearing, once you start to see sunshine, those snow chances are wrapping up. By Friday, more sunshine than clouds, keeping that Saturday, and then by Sunday, that weak front starts to roll in. Now, it's going to break apart as it makes landfall, so we're not looking at much in the way of precipitation, but it's going to be possible with that Sunday-Monday front. So when we look at our long-range forecast model, the GFS, it actually shows us much the same. We're looking at more mountain snow until Thursday at 4 p.m., and in our lower elevation, some off and on snow showers, not yielding much in the way of totals. Then by Friday, we're looking at more sunshine. By Saturday, this is where the other one left off. That next system is bearing down on the coastline. It moves inland, but then it starts to wrap up. So that next system isn't going to do much in the way of totals or anything, but there's a low chance of a little bit of precipitation. By Monday and Tuesday, back to more sunshine, and the warming trend continues. So it'll slow down. The warm-up slows down this weekend, but that's when we're topping out on either side of 50 degrees, well above that average high of 42 in Bend and 43 in Redmond. Yeah, that's what it is. And so between now and 11 p.m. Friday, we're looking at a trace to maybe 2 inches in our lower elevations. And in the Cascades, looks more like 8 to 12 inches are expected. Now, when it comes to our just a different forecast model, this one actually shows less in the way, maybe a trace still possible all the way through Bend, and slightly higher snow totals around Sister Sun River, Lapine, Three Rivers. So the east slopes of the Cascades still getting the potential for 2 to 3 inches. Just not a lot. Now, winds have been gusty, and we are not done yet. Actual wind speeds are about 10 to 20 miles per hour. So as we go forward through the rest of this evening, we start to see those winds tapering, but still going to be a little breezy at times through the overnight hours. By Thursday, still breezy at times. By Friday, mostly just a light breeze. And that's because the system will be wrapping up. We're back to, really, in reality, we're back to 5 to 15 mile per hour winds Thursday and Friday. And that's going to be starting to taper off here during the next couple of hours, but this tonight, still staying breezy at times. So for tonight, we're looking at 20s with a few teens on the map. A couple 30s still possible, but I think those will be fewer and further between. And then by Thursday, we're looking at 30s for highs with a few 40s. Couple spots struggle to get above freezing tomorrow. And then going forward, we have that gradual warming trend that brings us well into the 50s. Remember, Sunday and Monday, a very weak system that could bring some precipitation to the high desert. So here are your weather headlines for this Wednesday, January the 7th. Accumulating snow is expected. It's just not going to be much. We're looking at a trace to maybe 2 inches. Cascade warning continues, and a warming trend sets up next week. So satellite and radar actually shows a whole lot of cloud cover, a little bit of snow, and more snow showers will bring a few light totals. Remember, maybe a trace to 2 inches. That's the latest in weather. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News. We'll be live at 5 on ABC and CBS, then at 6 o'clock for an hour. And after that, it's going to be at 7 on CBS, and then at 11 o'clock on ABC and CBS. We'll see you then. Join us.